Hi, I'm Ting, and I'm the team lead of Synthesea. Let's start with a simple question. How many fish did you eat last week? Well, I had a fish and chips on Friday, so that's easy. One fish. But there's a more important question to be asked. How many fish were needed to make my fish and chips? And the answer to that is not one, but hundreds. Why is this happening? More than 50% of the fish we eat come from aqua farms. However, farmed fish need omega-3 in order to grow and be nutritious. To solve this, wild fish are caught, squeezed into fish oil containing omega-3, and sold to aquafeed companies to incorporate into their feed at a price of €6,800 a ton. This dependency on capturing millions of small fish from the wild makes the aquaculture industry terminally unsustainable. And here's where we come in. We are developing a proprietary process that converts flaxseed oil into omega-3. We provide a sustainable alternative to fish oil, breaking the dependency on wild fish, and crucially, do so at 1/5 of the cost. Our Beachhead is Norwegian Salmon Aquafeed Companies, is the world's second largest fish exporter, and salmon, their main export, requires €228 million worth of omega-3. While this is a large beachhead, the market is dominated by just 5 key players, making further segmentation difficult. After our beachhead, we'll expand to other European markets and eventually towards the global total available market. We'll be able to reach not just large aquafeed companies, but smallholder aqua farmers making their own feed, who are severely impacted by rising prices of fish oil. In addition, our technology is a platform, which means it's transferable, able to produce a wide range of lipids for many potential markets, such as pharmaceuticals, supplements, and livestock. Half the cost of raising farm salmon comes from the feed. That's why our key value proposition to aquafeed companies is omega-3 that is up to 80% cheaper, delivering a 15% reduction in the cost of their feed. Additionally, our omega-3 doesn't use wild fish or contain pollutants such as mercury or PCBs. Finally, we are a long-term solution. Aquaculture production is projected to grow by 32% by 2030. However, fisheries around the world are already at maximum capacity, limiting the supply of omega-3. Fish oil's inability to meet demand is holding back a multi-billion-dollar industry, while we will allow continued growth. We're currently developing our bacterial strain and proprietary conversion process that makes omega-3 from plant oils such as flax. One key point is that our bacteria don't produce omega-3, they convert. This distinction means that under EU law, it's considered non-GMO, incredibly valuable to the Norwegian market. This is a strong advantage against companies like Nuseed, whose omega-3 producing rapeseed are considered GMO. Additionally, our process is scalable. Infrastructure for bacteria have been present for decades, and farms have been operating for millennia. This is in strong contrast to algae companies like Alga Prime, who have trouble scaling to meet demand. We interviewed the major aquafeed companies that control 90% of our beachhead, as well as consultants and professors. We confirmed demand for particular types of omega-3, which shaped our development process. We found that even though GMO regulations are self-imposed, they are make or break. No one wants GMO products in their feed. Finally, we found companies operated with very slim profit margins, highlighting price as a key pain point. In 2025, we aim to have 20% of the market share, selling around 33,000 tons of oil with a profit of €17 million. Because it's such a consolidated market, the key driver is market share. The second is cost of production. Luckily, while the price of fish oil can fluctuate up to 50% annually, plant yields are relatively stable. The last is the amount of omega-3 companies need, which is projected to grow alongside the aquaculture industry. In terms of CO2, we emit 73% less CO2 than omega-3 from fish oil. With 20% of our beachhead market, we can save 196,800 tons of CO2. But of course, CO2 is not the only thing we're saving, because our omega-3 has benefits that lie beneath the surface. By reducing the pressure on overexploited fish, we prevent the loss of keystone species critical to the ocean ecosystem, preserving marine biodiversity. Additionally, 19.3 million people are directly employed by the aquaculture industry, and removing the reliance on fish oil will secure these jobs and create more by allowing the industry to grow. Finally, 10% of all the fish caught around the world are not eaten by humans, they're used in feed. But 1 billion people depend on fish as their primary protein source. By providing fish-free omega-3, we can allow aquaculture to become a pillar of food security and prevent a migration to red meat, which has a much larger carbon footprint. Our team is mostly undergrads studying biology degrees in Imperial, while I'm getting my master's. I've won prizes for my work in biotech, while Reese was the co-founder of Maltis Media from the previous ClimateLaunchpad cohort. We also have John and Edward as our mentors, who have extensive experience in the industry. We want to develop an alternative to omega-3 from wild-caught fish, and achieve a valuation of €85 million in 2025. But in the end, our goal is to make a lipid synthesis platform that will span across industries.
Yes, so that was Synthesea from England. Jury members, are you impressed, I wonder? Ask your questions, please. Who's first? Jury members, are you hearing me? I would like your questions. Yes, Andrea.
Sorry,
Yes.
there is a little bit of delay.
No problem.
Thank you very much. I'm wondering, how do you see impacts regarding land? Because there is a lot of issues with land availability, and you will be pushing aquaculture.
Yes. So for now, most aquaculture is primarily offshore, as you know. We said that we're working from a plant oil precursor, and we were very conscious of land use issues here because we don't want to take land away from food crops and push up food prices. So that's a particular reason why we chose flaxseed as our source crop, with just 0.3% of arable land in Kazakhstan, which is the primary grower of flaxseed around the world. We would have enough raw material to produce enough omega-3 for our entire beachhead Norway. In addition to that, flaxseed crops in general are quite low impact because they're drought resistant, salt tolerant, and don't require huge amounts of fertilizer or pesticide inputs. And so we hope that we're contributing to a more sustainable value chain in general.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shloka, I saw your hand raised.
Thank you. No, it's a fascinating project. And I just wanted to, it was similar to Andrea's question, but just a little bit more about how you might boost the actual productivity of the aquaculture industry. And, the fact that there's limited land, water, and feed, it is going to constrain its growth. So how do we address that?
So one thing that's happening sort of as a general shift in the industry is a move towards onshore aquaculture, so being able to use land rather than sea. Beyond that, we hope that because our product is higher purity and lower cost, we'll be able to farm more fish more efficiently, but still produce a healthy enough product.
Thank you. 1 minute to go. One last question from my jury members. Who would like to? Yes, please, Michelle.
Very interesting, thank you. I see the Kazakhstan-Norway market relationship. What do you see the scope is for expanding this to perhaps less food secure regions of the world? Is this model viable, we say, in Africa, for example? Thank you.
Absolutely. So that's something, as we expand, that's absolutely something that we look towards to. So the reason that we pick Norway as our beachhead market is the aquafeed producers there have already committed to reducing the amount of fish in their feed. And in addition, it's strongly anti-GMO, which favors our process, which is not GMO. However, as we scale up, we really want to be able to subsidize aquafeed for smallholder aqua farmers that are more prevalent in less developed regions of the world, where sort of a mix between traditional rice farming and aqua farming is being trialed in Bangladesh, for example, as a way of giving farmers an extra source of income and as well as a nutritious protein source. And so we really hope, given that aquafeed's cost is preventative, that we can help subsidize those kinds of projects.
Thank you very much, Synthesea. Best of luck to you.